and good day. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz from eTurboNews, and this is a breaking news update. For more news updates and shows, please go to youtube.com/travel news group, youtube.com/travel news group. Here's our update.
Syphilis, TB, drug and other tests now mandatory for all foreigners in Russia. Given Russia has much higher domestic rates of diseases like tuberculosis and HIV than most Western nations, the rationale for regularly testing foreigners and not expanding the domestic screening of Russian citizens is unclear. As a result of growing anti-migration sentiment, Russia announced that it is rolling out a drastic new policy affecting all foreign nationals in the country. In a move unprecedented anywhere in the world, Russian government officials announced that virtually all foreigners living in Russia, except the citizens of Belarus, Union State, even young children, will be required to take a number of tests on a regular basis to avoid falling foul of the immigration authorities. Under a new law that comes into force from Wednesday, foreign nationals must submit a quarterly health certificate that proves they aren't suffering from communicable diseases or taking drugs. As part of the process, all foreign nationals living in Russia who are not Russian or Belarusian citizens, and do not hold permanent or temporary residence permits, will have to attend a clinic every 3 months and pay for blood tests, sexual health checks, urine analysis, and even chest X-rays. Foreigners will also have to submit fingerprints and identity photos for official records. Only children under the age of 6 are exempted. Adding to the complexity, a number of examinations will also have to be undertaken at specialist government tuberculosis and addiction clinics and, for those in Moscow, the results will have to be handed in person to the migration center, located in the outskirts of Moscow, requiring a 2.5-hour commute on public transport from the center of the capital. Those who refuse can see their visas revoked or not renewed. New amendment introducing the restrictive new measures was backed by Russia's parliament over the summer. A letter accompanying it said the changes were justified by the need to prevent the infiltration and spread of dangerous infectious diseases in Russia. However, the scientific evidence for testing young children for syphilis and subjecting them to medically unnecessary radiation 4 times a year has not yet been released, and similar public health policies have never been tried elsewhere in the world. Furthermore, given Russia has much higher domestic rates of diseases like tuberculosis and HIV than most Western nations, the rationale for regularly testing foreigners and not expanding the domestic screening of Russian citizens is unclear. Many familiar with bizarrely absurd bureaucratic processes and medical examinations in Russia fear that the processes of undergoing tests and submitting the paperwork will take a day each, particularly given the sudden dramatic increase on administrative infrastructure.
Thank you for listening to our news update. There's more on youtube.com/travel news group, or you can read us, of course, in going to our news portal at eTurboNews.com or travelnews.online.